Hello, Pure Yoga community. This is Megan. I'm missing all of my gentle yoga students, so Susie asked me to put together a little gentle flow for you today. I always begin class with a little quote, so today's was just so perfect. It'll help us get us through this time that's been hard on all of us. Sorrows come and go, and the growth they bring teaches us how strong we have become. Courage expands as we embrace the bravery that vulnerability requires. Patience develops while we wait for outcomes to transpire. Through all the trials, a divine hand is helping us through each one. I always use these quotes to help us set our intention for class. So keeping that in mind as we begin, we'll begin in Tadasana, mountain pose. So meet me on your mat. I put a T-shaped mat here today so I can face you for some of the postures, and I can come at a side angle for also some of the postures. So let's start right in the beginning in mountain pose. Feet beneath your hip joints. Feel your shoulders line up right above your hip joints also. Shine your hands forward. Let's take the shoulders toward the ears. Take a nice inhale. And then roll the shoulders back and down. Feel the crown of your head reach toward the ceiling. And begin to notice your natural breath. Notice where the breath fills in. Notice the depth. Notice the quality of your breath. Begin to take in a deeper, fuller breath, thinking about 3 parts to the breath. Letting the low belly fill and expand. The rib cage expands, and the collarbones gently lift with the breath. On the exhale, let the collarbones just gently melt back and down as your shoulder blades shift back and down. Let the air come out of the rib cage and out of the low belly. Have a gentle squeeze in of the belly button. As you exhale all bits of air. Let's take one hand to low belly and one hand to heart center as you do that 3-part breath once again. This time feeling the breath, feeling the hands move. Low belly hand expands. Rib cage and collarbone hand expands. Hands sink down as you finally exhale. Let your breath be smooth and even and soft. As we move through our gentle practice, allow this breath to continuously move throughout class, having a constant focus on the breath. One more, just like that. Take hands to heart center. You can continue to keep your eyes closed while you set your intention. Intention can be for your class, for your day. Maybe keeping that thought process in mind of a bigger hand at work here. Take the chin to tuck. Let the eyes flutter open. Open the hands to a low V. Inhale, letting your gaze follow as you lift hands. Exhale, bring hands back to heart center. Let the hands open up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, coming back down. Yoga means to yoke, so we're breathing, moving, bringing together the breath with our movements. A couple more like that. Find true expansion. Big inhales, big exhales. Last one here. From hands at heart center, move them out to a nice big T, palm towards the front of your mat. And exhale as you twist, heart like a wheel, allowing yourself just to flow with your breath. Exhale, inhale forward, exhale twist. Letting the arms be close to parallel to the ground. Letting your breath again be soft and smooth. If my breath pattern is a little faster than yours, go ahead and slow yours down. Your movements don't need to match mine exactly. Last one, each direction. Come through center, inhale, arms overhead. Little standing banana pose. Come to one side and press through the opposite hip. Gently bring your gaze up to the eye of the elbow. Exhale here. Inhale back through center. Exhale, opposite side. Bringing that gaze upward once again. Inhale back through center. This time letting your arm drop. Opposite arm drop. So a little deeper swaying palm. Exhale. So feeling like those arms are branches just swaying in the wind. Letting the side body open up, feel the air come into the rib cage. And again, if my movement is faster, my breath pattern a little faster, I'm talking here too, so feel free to just slow yours down. Let's do one more each direction, letting that hip joint press out. Inhale, center, letting that hip joint press out. Back through center, let's bring hands back through heart center. Feel your shoulder blades roll back and down. Find prayer hands. And we'll find our chair legs here. So let's bend the knees. Track the knees straight forward over the ankle joints and feel like you're sitting back into a chair. So here I'm facing you, side version, just sitting back into that chair. Maybe finding 90 degrees, sinking a little deeper with the ankle joint, with the knee joint. One more breath here, big inhale. We're gonna move into crescent legs, and we're just gonna alternate back and forth. As we move into those crescent legs, lift the arms up. So I'm taking one leg back, reach the arms overhead, back into chair pose. Nice big exhale here. Inhale, opposite leg comes back, crescent, back into chair pose. So aiming to keep the hips nice and low, crescent lunge, back into chair pose. Keep alternating. I'm going to show this from the side, back into chair pose. So from your chair pose, coming into crescent lunge, finding extension, stacking the knee right over the ankle joint, and back into chair pose. Opposite crescent, and back into chair pose. Keep going with that movement. I'll do one more facing the front. Again, with your breath, letting your breath set your pace. From chair pose to crescent to crescent. We're gonna all take our one leg back, right leg back in my case. If you're mirroring me, your left leg back. Either leg, doesn't really matter. Again, I'll show this from the side. Find your crescent lunge. Next exhale, I'm gonna let you drop your back heel, bring hands to heart center. You're in warrior one legs. So you're letting that hip flexor stretch out. Again, keeping knee over ankle. Let your shoulders rest for a moment. And then reach up, warrior one arms. Take a few breaths here, just really letting that hip flexor stretch out. Next exhale, let's move into warrior two. Allow your hips to open up. So now we're taking that same leg angle, but this time those hips are rotating to the side. Arms are strong, glazing out over front fingertips. We're gonna flip our right palm, so I have my right leg back there, or left leg back there, and open up the side body. Reverse warrior. Bring that gaze up toward the palm, back into your warrior two. Let's cartwheel the back arm underneath and find your warrior one again. Big inhale here. Next exhale, warrior two. So we're gonna flow with these three postures. Flip the palm, reverse warrior. Back into your warrior two. Find your warrior one. Let the arm drop and then find that lift. Big inhale, maybe bring the gaze upward. Exhale, find your warrior two. Flip the palm. Big reversal. Fill the side body with air. Big inhale. Exhale, back into your warrior two. Cartwheel that arm. Big inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flipping palm. And nice reverse warrior. Back through your warrior two. Move that arm underneath. Rotate your shoulder. Lift warrior one. Warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse. Come back through. So keep moving with that sequence a few more times through. Maybe even closing your eyes, letting your body just feel the movement. Go through that posture. I'm going to go through it facing you once again. Warrior one, so you can see maybe heel to heel alignment. Warrior two, maybe that heel moves to instep alignment. Flipping the palm, staying just like the back's against the wall. Back to warrior two. Rotating those hip joints, rotate forward once again, warrior one. Let's just go through one more time here on this side. Find your warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse warrior. Back through your warrior two. Cartwheel that back arm underneath. Let's pick up the back heel. Now you're in a crescent lunge. Bring hands to heart center, bend the back knee. Back foot meets the front. Find your Tadasana mountain pose, just like we began class. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the balance between the feet. Take a few breaths here. Find that soft, even breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Let's bring hands back to heart center. Sink the hips once again into chair pose. Gonna move through that alternating chair pose, crescent lunge once again. Find your crescent lunge. Back to chair pose. Opposite leg, crescent lunge, big inhale, back to chair pose. Inhale, bring the gaze upward. Exhale, coming back to chair. Let's just do a few more. Just kind of getting that motion going. Getting that blood flow going. Let's all link up in our crescent lunge, bringing hands to heart center. Hold here for a moment, then rotate that back heel. So my opposite leg now. I have my left leg back opposite side. And then reach the arms up, find your full warrior one stance. I'm going to do this opposite direction for you and reverse on the mat here. So just taking another angle, another view. Feel the hip joint begin to stretch out in your warrior one. Bring your gaze upward, big inhale here. Exhale, find your warrior two. Let the hips rotate open. Feel the strength in the arms on this side too. Maybe those arms are parallel to the floor, parallel to your mat. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior. Open up side body. Back through warrior two, exhale. Rotate your right arm now underneath. Rotate those hip joints forward. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flipping left palm. Reverse. Back through your warrior two. Cartwheel arm underneath. Lift, warrior one. Exhale. Flipping that palm, reverse it back. And back through warrior two. Moving through this cycle again, just with your own breath here. Let your body move. Find that moving meditation that yoga can be for you. Cartwheel arm underneath. Find your warrior two. Flipping palm, reversing back. Back through your warrior two. So a couple more times through at your own pace. I'm going to face you again, just so you can see that from a different angle. Warrior one. Warrior two, letting hips open. Letting side body open, but staying in one long line here. Back through warrior two. Cartwheel arm underneath. Rotate those hip joints forward once again. Let's go through a couple more times at our own pace here. Reversing. Back through. Nice cartwheel lift. Beautiful. Come into warrior two. Last time. Flip the palm, reverse. Back through. Find your warrior one just for a breath here. Let's bring hands to heart center. Pick up the back heel. You're back in your crescent lunge. Bend the knee. Bring that knee up to meet the front. Inhale, reach. This time we're going to take ragdoll pose. Hinge forward. Grab elbow to elbow. You can just gently sway. Let everything go here. Let your head drop. Shake it, yes. Let your hips get some movement by swaying the whole trunk, the whole body. Tuck the chin. Let the weight of the head track you down there. Stay there a few more breaths. Just let yourself let go. Inhale and exhale. Just letting go of any stress, any anxiety. 2 more breaths right there. Come back through center. Let your fingertips dangle toward forward fold. Letting you find your own range of motion. Maybe that forward fold is a little more lifted. That's a great spot to be. From wherever you are, gently back roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, take your shoulders towards your ears. Roll back and down and find your Tadasana. We're going to move into some balance here. We're going to start with balancing star. So we'll take balance on the foot and let's just extend 1 foot out to the side. So you're going to feel yourself stack hip joint over that balancing foot. Opposite foot can touch lightly and bring those arms to reach out to the side, making that star. So you can have this light touch throughout or you can begin to lift. Find your balancing star. Beautiful. So I'm going to show this from the side view. So what you want to be is in 1 long line again. So avoiding coming forward or back. And if you feel those small micro movements, feel yourself stack again. Let the shoulder blades fall back and down. Couple more breaths there. Finding that star. We're going to step off our mat and come into horse pose. So your opposite foot will step out. You're in a big wide stance. Bring hands to heart center and come into horse pose. Feel that balance there for a moment. Between the heels, weight into the heels, maybe even picking up the toes. Maybe shift your weight evenly side to side, feeling that balance. On your next inhale, come up into 5-point star, and then maybe raise those heels. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Tick back into your star by dragging that foot lift, and then bring your hands heart together. Come back to the center. We'll try the opposite side. So taking that leg up to the side, feeling yourself stack hip joint above that ankle for a moment. Maybe that toe touch stays the whole time. That's okay. Find your extension. Maybe we lift that foot. Find that balancing star. Feel that small movement. Let the shoulder blades fall back and down. Keep your heart center lifted. Crown of head where you'd balance a book. Straight toward the ceiling, that's going to help. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. And you'll go for balance also. We find our drishti, our focal point. Let yourself find that. Bringing hands back to heart center next. Letting that foot fall to the side. Angle the toes out slightly. Find your horse pose. Hold here for a moment. Let the hips come low. Feel the balance between the heels. This is a nice little release. And then come up into your star next. Big inhale. Maybe lift those heels. Find the balance there. Exhale, come back to heart center. Shift that weight. Lift, inhale, exhale. So we're using a little motion there. That was kind of fun. We're going to do 1 more balance. Involves a little twisting. We've warmed up that heart like a wheel twist. So we'll shift balance back onto that first side. So kickstand your toe. And we're just going to come with that knee to lift. A little bit of a hover of the foot above your mat. Anytime you need to touch down, feel free. So I talked a little bit about the drishti or focal point that we're going to look at. Find that focal point in front of you. We're going to challenge ourselves. Even in a gentles class, you can find some challenge. So we're going to shift and move that drishti to the side. So the leg that's lifted, your opposite hand's going to reach toward that knee. Bring that hand up the leg that's lifted to your hip joint and begin to move your drishti to the side. So twist. That knee again can stay low. There's option one. Or you can lift up, maybe flex the foot. Find that 90 degrees with the knee. Bring the gaze out to the side. Hold and breathe here. I'm going to show this one from the side also. So we have that lift of the knee. Hand comes across. I'm just bringing that gaze to the side. Feel the rooting down of the balanced leg. Feel the energy upward through the spine, through the crown of the head. One more breath here. Bring the gaze, drishti forward, and bring your foot back. Just begin to bicycle pedal the feet. Maybe lingering with that balanced foot, flexing, working through that arch a little bit. Just lingering there if you need to. Pressing each toe pad into your mat. And then we'll switch out our sides. So we're going to come to let the opposite toe touch. Bending that knee. Find your visual focal point, your drishti, right in front of you. Begin to flex, maybe lift that toe up. Begin to twist. I twisted that way last time. Showing it opposite direction. Flex. Change that drishti. Few more breaths there. So I'm looking away from the camera. I'm new to this. Haven't done this before. It's kind of fun. Last 2 breaths. Slowly bringing that foot down. Hands to heart center. Pedal it out again. Pedal the feet. Maybe roll the ankles here. Give yourself some time just to walk around your mat a little bit. Roll it out after that balance. Let's do a gentle dancer here next. So we'll take balance onto that first foot, and we're going to take our toe back this time, bending the knee. You can stay there with that toe touch. Your balanced foot, you're going to reach that arm forward and take that hand of the foot that's reaching back on your hip joint. Flex now the footed back and reach the arm forward. Hold and breathe, let the shoulders fall back and down. Side view, coming into either knees parallel or pressing that foot toward the back of your mat, lifting up through the arm. A nice gentle version of our dancer pose. 2 more breaths. Then slowly bring it down after the second breath. Nice exhale, hands through heart center. Let's switch out the sides right away. Balance on the opposite. Take that toe back. You can flex. Lift. Same side as the leg that's lifted, bring that hand to hip. Reach out with the opposite arm. Maybe press toward the back wall. Nice gentle version of dancer. Maybe bring that drishti upward. It's going to challenge you also. Or keep that focal point low on the ground. It's a great spot to be. Next, exhale, slowly release. Nice work, you guys. Bring it down. Bring your legs about hip distance apart or mat distance apart on your mat. We're just going to loosen up before we come down to our mat. Let's interlace bring the hands elbow to elbow above. Just take a nice big trunk circle, bending the knees. Take a nice trunk circle, exhale it down. Inhale, exhale it down. Switch out the direction, exhale it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it down. Let's stay low in a wide leg ragdoll. Just release down. Nice big exhales. Bring your hands to the mat. You can come through yogi squat, bringing the hips down, or just simply come down to your mat. Bring the legs forward and soles of feet together. Finding a nice butterfly pose. I've added a bolster behind me. You can use a pillow at home or whatever blanket rolled up works really well too. Place that behind your back here, behind your low back, just for a little support. And just let your legs go side to side. So a little butterfly motion, or more of in a sway. You can keep the soles of feet together and move the legs like this for butterfly, in and out. And then we're gonna come into a forward fold with this. So taking maybe the elbows towards the knees, allowing yourself just to melt forward. Nose toward toes. Exhale as you just let yourself sink down. Two more long breaths here. Slowly come up, bring the knees back together. We're gonna come into a little gentle boat pose, letting that bolster support you. Hinge back so you can feel the bolster. Flex the toes. You can bring the hands gently behind the knees and just allow your core to be working here. So you have just a gentle support back there. I'm gonna also show this from the side. You can pick up the heels here. Find supported boat. From the side, you just have that gentle back support. We try to keep a long spine and then hinge yourself back, and then you're gonna feel that core working. You can stay there, you can find a gentle little lift. You can open up the arms, flex those feet. Hold there a few more breaths. I'm gonna rotate back towards you. A few more breaths. And option two, just to keep those heels down touching, but keep that long spine hinging back. Beautiful. Let's release. Bring the feet to the mat. Sit nice and tall. You're going to scoot that bolster, blanket, or pillow, whatever you have, a little bit behind you. And take your elbows now down to that bolster. We're going to come into a reverse plank pose. Just stretch out the abdominal, so let your legs come forward. You can point the toes, tops of the feet, stretch out there, and then just gently lift the hips. You're in a long line. Hands are right about at your hip joints. And you have the support behind you. Elbows are stacking underneath the shoulder joints. You can bring that gaze upward, opening up the neck. Safest spot for the neck is going to be right at the ceiling. You're going to slowly bring the hips back down to the mat. Release the elbows down, and we're going to come into supported fish. So right now the bolster is lining up at my shoulder blades. I'm going to roll it just a little bit back. So just the tops of my shoulder blades are touching. A little further. Just the tops of my shoulder blades are touching. And I take the elbows back, underneath, slightly underneath my shoulders, and lift. Now I'm in a lifted position on my mat on the elbows. Palms can come underneath hip joints, facing down towards your mat. I'm going to slowly roll back and find supported bridge. So my head is supported by the bolster, and I'm looking towards the ceiling or letting that head fall back. I'm going to show this one from the side also. Letting your head just roll back, be supported by that bolster. Heart center gets to open. Hold and breathe here. Play with this a little bit. Maybe you're positioning, maybe if it feels better to scoot hips and let your head come down a little bit. Crown of head would be reaching toward the floor. Stay here about 5 more breaths. After this 5th breath here, to come out of it, you're going to lift back up on the elbows. Scoot scoot the bolster out and slowly come all the way down to your mat. We're going to come into a bridge pose next. So bending the knees. I'm going to use my bolster again for supported bridge. So I'm going to scoot the bolster underneath the knees and let it be within reach. So I'm able to roll it under low back. So for bridge pose, scoot those heels just a little closer. Heels are lining up under knee joints. Reaching hands down toward the bolster or the mat for support as you lift the hips off the mat. Finding that bolster, scooting it under hip joints, supported bridge. You can rotate if you have a bolster or make that pillow higher if you like. You can take the arms out to the side, just hold and breathe here. A nice open position of heart center. You can even take the palms upward, receiving. We're taking a few more long breaths here. Feel your heels press evenly toward the mat. If you'd like, from supported bridge for the next few breaths, to lift up even further than your bolster. Feel heart center puff toward the ceiling. And then we'll come into our gentle release. Gently roll that bolster away. Slowly bring the hips down to the mat. Pull the knees into chest and let's just roll the knees in the air, giving your low back a little massage. We're going to come into some twisting. You can use the bolster again to twist as we bring the knees over to, mine are coming to the right first. Let's open up the arms into a T and then just gently look left. Another option is to let your right leg, which we've twisted right, scoot underneath, aligning along the bolster, and take the left leg over, using that bolster for support. Allow your shoulder blades just to melt down towards the floor. To gently come out of this twist, bring your gaze back toward the ceiling. Release the knee upward. Pull that knee into our chest and gently release the leg down. We're going to switch sides, switch the bolster over. I'm just going to rotate so I'm continuing to face the same way towards the camera. Pulling that leg, right knee over this time, twisting, opening up the arms. Having that gaze in the opposite direction of your knee. Letting your breath allow your shoulders to melt down towards your mat. Slowly bring that gaze back to center. Release the knee from the bolster. You've had it for support. We'll use it one more time for legs up the wall. Bring the knees into chest. You're going to come back through bridge, a little gentle bridge to scoot that bolster back underneath. Have it at your low back. Your sacrum is supported there. Pull the knees up and then let the feet flex toward the ceiling. Finding that reversal of blood flow. Hold and breathe here. And keep those arms supported on the bolster there, or take them out to the side. Palms open again, feeling that receiving posture. Last couple breaths here. Gently letting knees come toward chest. Letting legs squeeze in, feet come back to the mat. Lift the hips off to remove the bolster. You can roll it down towards your knees for Shavasana if you'd like. So that means your knees are supported a little bit. Let your legs come out to the edges of your mat. Heels come down towards corners. Let the palms open up. Lift the chest just gently on the next inhale, and then exhale, let your shoulder blades fall down and back, finding your final relaxation. Your Shavasana. In this posture, your body is completely still. Moving back all of your attention to the breath. Your attention's been there on the breath throughout class. But here you're very mindful of that breath once again, honing in on where the breath fills in. Honing in on the depth, on the quality of the breath. Stay here as long as you like. A good Shavasana is 5 minutes or longer. Let your body get the rest that it needs. When you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Rotating ankles, maybe bringing knees back together, flexing feet. Taking a nice full body stretch as you reawaken, fingertip to toes. Exhale, roll to your side using your arm as a pillow. Finding breath of gratitude for your practice today. Taking your time to slowly come up to seated position. You can use your bolster to sit on as you're coming back. And I have that little something to end with here. So through all our trials, the divine hand is helping us through, was my original quote here. And then I have something from Victor Hugo. Les Mis, of course, you all know Victor Hugo. Have courage for the great sorrows of life and patience for the small ones. When you have laboriously accomplished your tasks, go in peace, God is awake. Taking hands to heart center. Just take a moment to come back to your intention for your class, for your day. Setting these small intentions is like setting little goals each day, and it's good for our minds, good for our body. From hands at heart center, bring your hands to your forehead. May there be peace in your thoughts. From hands at forehead, bring them to your lips. Peace in your words. Hands back to heart center. Peace in your actions. The light in me salutes the light in you. The gentle bow forward. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. And hopefully Susie will get some more classes on here too. We'll see you next time.